Welcome back, everybody. Vacancy Blitz, episode number 51. After a pretty underwhelming week of New Orleans, Louisiana sports. Yeah, LSU beat up on Southeastern. However, Brock, the Saints laid an absolute deuce.
Yeah, I'm just gonna just pour my own heart out on this one. This was probably the worst weekend of sports that I can remember. Um, LSU played a dud. Tulane got murdered. The Saints got murdered. I went 3-7 on my picks. My fantasy team sucked. The Cubs clinched the playoffs and then decided not to figure like they just don't know how to play baseball anymore. And yeah, so
Yeah, rough week. There were, however, some interesting games in college. Starting off with Auburn, Oklahoma. Brock, what do we think about Auburn versus Oklahoma? The Sooners
it
got the
looked
dub.
yeah. To be honest, both teams look just mid.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say either one of them stood out. Especially Auburn. Auburn, Jackson Arnold. I mean, the inability to pass the ball effectively really showed in that game. And those who bet on Auburn to cover, or if it was the other way, really bad beat with that safety. I think they were 6.5, and the safety put them to 7.
really.
Um,
There was another bad beat in the NFL with the Eagles versus Rams.
yeah, 3.5. Yep. Um, so yeah, I mean, Oklahoma, are they good? Yes, they're still very good. Auburn, I don't think they should be unranked now. They lost a very close game to a very good team. And when you got a team like, which we'll just move on unless you have anything
Yeah,
else.
I'll just say one thing. Um, I was talking to two people, two of our friends that go to Auburn, and they were saying the officiating in that game was god
Oh
awful,
yeah,
leaning towards the Sooners. Um,
of course, two Auburn fans gonna say that.
well, I know, but
It
it
was it was bad. It was
yeah,
very bad.
and I think the SEC even came out and made a statement about the
Oh,
game. Um, so I think Auburn being unranked, like you said, is a little harsh. I really do think they're still a good team, and they're getting another crack at it this week against a very good team in Hannah.
yep.
So it's good. That's going to be another great
Hmm.
game that we're going to pick. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah. We are 100%. But yeah, a team that also lost a top or a ranked team that lost, and didn't drop out of the rankings, which should have is Illinois. The worst top 10 team of all time. That is embarrassing.
And
Both of us.
I mean, I no, I didn't. I wasn't that high on Illinois.
I'm talking about we both picked them.
Oh yeah, we did both pick them.
Yeah. Indiana, we were both wrong about you. Um, Actually, all three of us, because Gianni didn't know much about
Yeah.
Indiana either. Yeah. Good Lord, Illinois just got pummeled. I mean, Indiana must have seen everybody talking about, oh, why is the line this big? Illinois is going to win, going to cover, and good Lord, did they not cover? I
I
mean,
mean,
63 points in a conference game.
that's remarkable.
Seems
Uh,
incredible.
Illinois must just be, or sorry, Indiana must just be a nightmare matchup for the fighting Illini because that was god awful. It
Hmm.
got ugly quick. I think it started off 7-7, and then by halftime it was like 35-7 or
It's
something like that.
insane.
Yeah, Illinois complete frauds,
Yeah.
obviously. And do you think the Hoosiers are legit contenders in the Big Ten?
I'll have to go look at. They do have a tough schedule ahead. I know they play Iowa and Penn State. Pretty sure we talked about it.
Iowa's a tough team.
Hmm.
A tough team.
But I mean, we all thought Illinois was a tough team, and they went in there and handled them pretty easily.
It was
Excuse me.
just it's weird because they looked so good against Duke.
Hmm.
They looked so good against Duke, and then they come out against Indiana and just lay an absolute egg.
Yeah, it was bad. I can't get it right now, but we're not going to waste too much time on that. Yeah, Illinois frauds. Indiana might be right back in the playoff. They're legit. I think if they go 11-1 the rest of the way, and then with one loss to Penn State,
They're going to be in.
oh, 100%. Now Penn State's got a tough task this week with Oregon.
I can't wait to watch that game.
That's
And that game not being game day is kind of
It
wild
is.
to
It
me.
is.
Oh, it is game
Yeah,
day?
I that was on when I told you it was my yeah. It is Penn State, Oregon. I don't know where I saw it was Georgia, Alabama. I wonder if Marty McGee and all them are going. Uh,
Probably. I'd imagine.
yeah,
Two SEC teams.
yeah. But yeah, Illinois complete frauds. Indiana, look out for them. They could
Yeah,
make some noise again in the playoff.
for sure.
Make some noise into the playoff because they didn't make any noise in the playoff last year. My mistake.
They lost to Notre Dame.
Yeah, who we'll get into.
Yeah,
Actually, well, next week. Moving on. The next we're only going to talk about a few. Tulane just completely just
lay it.
let the entire city of New Orleans down.
Yeah.
I can't believe I actually picked them to win. I thought they would at least cover, but good lord, 44-10. Is Ole Miss, their quarterback's legit. And as an LSU fan, that scares me.
Trinidad
Chambliss,
Chambliss.
yeah. Yeah. Whew. LSU's gonna be put to the test this week, to say the least.
I'll put a big hand up on this one. I really did think Tulane was going to have a good shot against Ole Miss, just because of how good Retzlaff has looked both in the air and then he's obviously looked dominant on the ground. But Ole Miss is really good.
Yeah.
This game is going to be really interesting to watch. LSU versus Ole Miss. If even if you're a Big Ten fan, you still got to tune into this game because it's going to be electric.
2:30 kickoff, which I'm not a fan of, but it's okay.
When is Oregon Penn State?
I would imagine. Oh, actually, the Big Ten does noon kickoffs for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. While he's looking that up, we'll get into the other game I wanted to talk about was South Carolina, Missouri. South Carolina is not a good football team. They were unbelievably overhyped coming into the season.
6:30
Okay.
on NBC. That's gonna be fun to watch.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be really fun to watch. Um, yeah, South Carolina is not a good football team. They were insanely overhyped coming in. I don't think Missouri is very good. I just think South Carolina is not good at all. Their offense is atrocious. Lenore Sellers, like, yeah, his stat line was good, but if you watch the game, it was a bunch of check down passes that were, he was getting 10, 15 yards every time. What? Don't look like that.
I'm not. I'm just looking
I know,
at you.
I know what that look was just now. Sellers, their offense is just incompetent, and their defense, which has been good, has just they get gassed because their offense is going three and out most of the time.
That's an underrated part about like defenses that people need to consider. Like defenses get gassed too. If offenses are just out there going three and out, three and out, three and out,
That's why
naturally the defenses are going to be worse.
That's why I give all the credit in the world to LSU's defense with LSU's
Yeah,
offensive struggles. They've been
exactly.
able to
I'm
keep it
glad you
up.
said that.
Now we didn't see that this week because LSU after the first drive scored on every single possession they had, which you'll love to see going into a big week this week. Um, but any other game you want to really touch on real quick before we move
I'll
on?
just get into it a little more on South Carolina. I think I had South Carolina finishing 10-2 and playing LSU for the SEC championship at the beginning of this year. Just because I really, yeah, I'll put a hand up. Um, hey, look, I do have 3 games on me right now though in the
Okay.
pickle, but uh, Lenore Sellers has not lived up to the hype. Sellers Norris, he has not lived up to the hype. Their defense is all right, but if your offense is just getting you like 3 yards every possession and then just going three and out, naturally the defense is going to break. You know, just overall very, very
Mid.
disheartening from the Gamecocks so far this year.
Yeah.
And I mean their season washed.
Yeah. I had to look at who they play coming up. Um, but I mean they still got. I know they still got LSU. They still got Clemson, which that's gonna be a very interesting
Yeah,
game.
I was about to talk about Clemson for a
Yeah,
little
we
bit.
could talk about Clemson. Thank God we didn't add Clemson to this list because both of us would have picked
I
Clemson,
don't think Clemson.
like 100%. Which we'll just go ahead and talk about it. That they're just hurting LSU more and more week in and week out.
It's it's very concerning for LSU fans because they were in a very tight game with Clemson, and they did not look good against Louisiana Tech. Florida is a dumpster fire. The offense still looks very up and down against Florida with more downs than ups. And obviously they just put Southeastern. I mean, you
Yeah,
can't look too much into that.
yeah,
LSU's
but
going to have better athletes than Southeastern.
however, we are 4-0.
They are,
So
yes, we are 4-0, but the Clemson doing what they're doing is not fair.
Clemson could very
Good for
easily be 0-4
Clemson.
with that Troy game that they had to squeak out.
Yes.
It could very easily be 0-4. But well, I don't really know what to say. I'm not worried. I think
LSU's
LSU.
undefeated.
Yeah, I think at the time Clemson was still a very, very good team. I think the wheels have kind of just fallen off after that. I think that really
Yeah, that
like
might be valid. That might be valid. And then the Georgia Tech game was kind of just like the
yeah,
nail in the coffin.
yeah. But I'm not worried about LSU. If they go out and take care of business this week, which is going to be a daunting task with the way Ole Miss has been playing. They'll
I
be
bet you Ole Miss is favored.
they are. It was LSU was 1.5 point favorite yesterday, and then it flipped today
It's Ole
to
Miss.
almost 1.5. So it's gonna be a really good game to watch. If they take care of business, they'll be 5-0 going into the bye week.
Who was our guest? We'll talk about that after. I don't even remember who our guest pick is this week. But
Send them on.
uh,
Um, What was I saying? So yeah, you win this game, you go you're 5-0 into the bye week, then you got South Carolina, who looks dysfunctional right now. Could possibly be 6-0 and then moving on to whatever. So it's setting up very well for LSU.
If LSU wins this week in Oxford, they're going to beat all the allegations of being frauds.
Yeah, 100%.
Because this will be the statement win
And yeah,
that they're looking for, even though they already beat at the time number what 3 Clemson.
hmm
Now I mean obviously that win doesn't look like anything now.
yeah. And then, but I mean, LSU still got. This is where the gauntlet starts. You got Ole Miss, South Carolina, Vandy, A&M, Bama. Not in that order. I
Is
just
it
kind of
Arkansas somewhere?
yeah, Arkansas and yeah. I'm just those. I know you play those five in a row at some point, and then you got Oklahoma at the end of the season. So this is where the gauntlet starts. This is when you put your big boy pants on,
Yep.
and offense needs to turn it around.
This is where you buckle in.
And I think Nuss kind of and the whole offense together kind of you saw little glimpses of that this week. They were much more comfortable. That's why I looked better in the pocket. Now his offensive line was not very good. There was constantly pressure.
Very concerning.
Yeah,
They're
extremely
playing
concerning.
Southeasters.
Um, I have faith. I have faith. I think it is going to be a high scoring game actually, because at LSU will miss all this high scoring. I feel like. But anything else in college before we get into the monstrosity that we call the NFL?
Let's get into it.
Whew. If you're a Saints fan, you obviously watched that. I don't even want to call it game that showing last night. Well, breaking news: Bruce Pearl retired.
I saw that. That's
So
actually our Auburn buddies about that.
poor kids.
His son's taking over.
I saw that. I don't know how well that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Um, but honestly, this week started really good with Dolphins Bills. It was better game than we thought. The Dolphins didn't look terrible. Now at the end of the game, Tua showed his true colors. With that pick. Um, but
he just like he hiked the ball and then he just like stared down
yeah,
Waddle. It's like he had one read and he didn't even like move his eyes off of it.
yeah,
And then the linebacker just came in.
yep.
Easiest pick of his life.
I'm gonna try and get through all these games before we absolutely lose our minds on the Saints. A lot of blowouts this week, including the Saints. Bengals got murdered. The Titans got
Shout
murdered.
out Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
That was nostalgic.
nostalgic.
I
Okay.
mean, seeing Carson
Yeah,
Wentz play in 2025 was
yeah.
nostalgic.
The Falcons. My God, 30-0 to the Panthers. That, our Panthers
Yikes.
picks looking not too bad right now. They look really, really good.
Yeah,
Michael
they look
Penix does not look
great.
good though.
No, he didn't. Michael Penix did not look good. And I was just talking about last time we had the recap episode that Michael Penix was doing just enough. He wasn't losing the Falcons games. Well, he lost the Falcons the game
Let's look at his
this
stat line.
week. It wasn't good. Kirk Cousins replaced him in the fourth quarter.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that. I didn't watch this game at all. Phew, 18 to 36 for 172 and 2 picks.
Yeah.
So
Not good, man.
yeah, he did lose this game to them this week. Whew. Anyway, back moving on. Rams Eagles, that was a phenomenal finish. I don't know if you saw that. The
Oh,
block field goal, Jordan Davis, that was cool to see. That's the second block field goal in a row in that game.
yeah.
Jets
I think the percent of blocking a field goal once is like 4%. They did it twice
in a row.
in a row.
We saw Saints play block field goal, but lo and behold, it was a
Maybe the
penalty.
Eagles also are
It
partaking in
was a
black
penalty.
magic with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Bucks won on a game-winning field goal.
I just want to talk about the Eagles just a little more. This game like solidified that they're still the team
Oh yeah,
that
their offense will.
because
Yeah.
their offense looked very shaky in the first 2 games, and then you got Jalen Hurts going for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns in this game
And
against
AJ Brown, his breakout game of the year.
yeah against probably a playoff team that is
Oh,
the
definitely.
Rams.
Yeah.
So the Eagles are still legit, and I want to go into this game real quick.
Commanders.
The team, well, no, the Packers.
Oh,
The team we thought was the team to beat just lost to the Browns.
yeah. Well, that's the NFL. I mean, anything.
No. And I mean,
That's why we don't pick NFL games.
last year you had the Raiders beat the
Chiefs,
Ravens.
Ravens.
They beat the Ravens in week 2 last year.
Yeah.
And it's very similar to this Browns Packers game. But
Joe,
boy, is that unfortunate for Green Bay fans because I thought they were about to be the squad.
I still think they're fine.
Dude, I don't know, man.
It's one game.
Yeah, but
The Commanders whooped up on the Raiders. That game was
very Goda.
what? Mariota.
Mariota.
Oh, Mariota. Okay,
You know
that's a
he
fair. Put
played.
that on a T-shirt. Yeah, I know. Wow, put that on a T-shirt right there. That was
You
okay.
never heard people
Not
call him
once.
Mariota.
Never once. These other games I didn't really watch. Bears Cowboys. I mean, are the Bears good or are the Cowboys just awful? Because this game was, the Bears look like a completely different team from the first 2 weeks.
I feel like the Cowboys defense can make any team look good.
That's a good point. Well, they probably gave up 3 points to the Saints. Um, moving and then Chiefs Giants to end it off. The nightcap. Well, before tonight we got
Pretty boring. But
yeah.
Cam Scatterbo was fun to watch, and we got a new RB1 in the Meadowlands. I mean, Tyron Tracy also got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he gets better, but it's Scatterbo season in New York, and that's gonna be really fun.
Yep. And then tonight, hopefully, potential game of the year with Lions Ravens. I know we've had a game of the year candidate every week so far, actually. Uh, who was week 1? Am I missing?
It was Bengals or Bills versus
Bills
Ravens.
Ravens, yeah. And then last week, Giants Cowboys. Surprisingly, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, I know, right?
And then okay, it's time. For the rest of the pod, we're gonna be talking about this. The New Orleans Saints played yesterday, if you want to call it that. And the game was over before it even started. Literally 5 minutes into the game, it was already 14-0, I think, and then 21-0 for an icing on the cake there. This Saints team literally did nothing right.
And then you look up at halftime, it's 35
Yeah,
30.
38-3.
38 to 30.
And we decided to try and kick a field goal before halftime. Um, go ahead, because I know you're better. Yep.
There are so many things with this team that are just inexcusable to be called professionals. That is making a ton of money to perform at the highest level on national TV with a whole city behind you. And you have, I don't even know how many pre snap penalties we had. We had to have had at least 8. And
Teams.
then, um, not to mention the
11 for 77 yards. I feel like there was more that they declined.
yeah, there honestly probably were. Uh, I mean, from the special teams, not being able to, and you got Groupie not being able to make a routine field goal. You have the punt unit letting up big returns left and right to Torrey Horton,
Mm-hmm.
uh, looking like prime person, making him look like prime Percy Harvin out there. Um, there's so many things that I was not expecting this Kellen Moore squad to do that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lack of discipline,
Yeah.
the amount of penalties. Uh, I mean, like for example, we tried this is the second time now we've tried the tush push, and we cannot do it. We cannot do it. I don't know if it's lack of practice during the week or what, but like the Eagles have it down to a science, and that's where Kellen Moore came from.
Mm-hmm.
And
You would think like he'd like something.
it's just such a bad look for the Saints because it just looks ugly. And there was a penalty on it, but the penalty wasn't called till after the play was over. And the tush push didn't even work.
No.
Rattler got like 6 inches, if that. So there's so many things. The defense just doesn't even look good. There's nothing like before this game we were saying they're executing the tank perfectly. Like they're not playing terribly, but they're still losing games. They lost the game, but they also played terribly. So I don't know, I'll swing it to you, Rob.
Yeah. This team is showing absolutely no heart. They're playing like they don't respect their coach, at all. That's
It's
like
odd
yeah.
because in the preseason, all the reports were saying,
The new
"Oh, we love
culture. Yeah.
Kellen Moore.
New
There's a new
culture. Yeah.
culture. The youth is being better," and then it's just
There's
dumpster fire.
no depth on this team at all. Like at all in the slightest. There's no effort. Like I said, special teams. It's all effort. And they're like there was like ooh. This is the worst special teams I've seen since. And this isn't the Saints, but remember LSU in 2022? How bad that special teams was.
Yeah,
Very, very, very
that was the
comparable.
Malik Neighbors debacle.
Yeah, yeah. Blake Groupie is terrible. Last year everybody said he was good because the Saints were terrible and he was just making little kicks. He is terrible. He's not a good kicker in this league. Um, the punter's actually really good. I'll give him credit, but the people around him are terrible. They don't make tackles. They don't break down. Like the only guy giving effort on the punt return was the punter who got laid at.
Yeah,
Um,
he got mollywopped.
the offense can't move the ball. I don't think they got past the 50-yard line on the first couple drives. Spencer Rattler is not the starting quarterback of the future, and neither is Tyler Sharp. We saw him come at the end 0 for 2 with two bad passes. What a waste of a draft pick that looks like. Um, oh my God. The run game is non-existent. Kamara had 18 carries for 42 yards. Kendra Miller is useless. He doesn't do anything. Spencer Rattler had 2 carries for 10 yards, but who cares? Olave, 10 catches for 57 yards. I've never seen that. Like 5 yards a catch is insane. Juwan Johnson actually had a pretty good game. I'll give him credit. Rashid Shaheed, solid game. But like, shout out Jack Stoll for getting his first touchdown. Who cares?
The thing is with Rattler, he just misses
Yeah,
like open. I guess we're so spoiled because we were used to Drew Brees
yeah.
just putting the ball on the money every single time. But
There was
even
there was one point where Rattler rolls right, and the whole defense is coming at him, and he throws it to a wide open Brandon Cooks and overthrows him by 10 yards.
yeah, and
It
yes, and then I'm glad you said that. And then at the beginning of the game, Rattler rolls out right, has a wide open Alvin Kamara. Nobody even within the like 10 yards of him, and he throws a rainbow to him, and it winds up going over his head, and Kamara has to like try to jump back and catch it.
yeah.
And not to mention last week against the Niners, um, Spencer Rattler had Chris Olave for a wide open touchdown and just threw the ball way behind him. So he's missing throws that NFL quarterbacks that it's routine.
Yeah.
It's routine. It should be routine for these NFL quarterbacks, and Spencer Rattler is just missing them. Now he's not doing anything terribly wrong. I mean, he hasn't really turned the ball over that much, but he's not doing anything that's like pushing the pendulum. Like
Yeah.
very mundane, very vanilla from Spencer Rattler so far, and I'm not liking it at
Yeah.
all.
I mean, that's what this team is. When you don't invest people in, you don't invest in the right people. You go out and draft people that don't start. I mean, look at the last 3 drafts. I mean, you got Brian.
Calvin Banks had like 5 penalties
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah. Kelvin Banks. I'm not gonna say anything about this draft because it's too early. But I mean, Peyton Turner we drafted in the first round. He's not even on the team. Isaiah Foskey, we took a second round pick. He's not on the team. Um,
Yeah,
Brian Brzee, who we took in the first round, has not really done much.
he doesn't do anything.
Like at all.
He doesn't do
The one
anything.
thing he did this game was have a stupid penalty that gave him 15 yards and a field goal.
Yeah, and if you remember, that was a third down. We had
Yeah.
just gotten a stop.
Yeah.
They were going to either kick a field goal or punt. I can't remember what the ball. And then I think they were actually going to punt. And then Brian Brzee headbutts some dude, and then they go down. Jackson Smith and Jigba caught a touchdown.
Yeah. Marcus Davenport, like you said, not on the team. I'm forgetting people.
Cesar Ruiz,
The worst lineman in the league, Cesar Ruiz.
statistically the worst lineman.
Yeah,
In the league.
literally. Let me just look at the rest of the people. Alontae Taylor, he's okay. Let's just be honest.
Okay.
He's solid at best. Chris Olave, as much as we love him, he's not a number one receiver. He's a good wide receiver too. He's not a solidified number one. Kool-Aid McKinstry's not a number one corner. Just being honest. Who else? I mean, the list goes on. This team can't draft to save their life. The guys that do draft, that people like Danny Stutzman, Quincy Riley, don't see the field. Quincy Riley came in for one play and forced a fumble. Why don't you play those guys? You're playing Isaac Yada because you paid him a lot of money. Because this front office doesn't know how to evaluate talent. Um, I could literally go on and on. The D line's getting no pressure. We hiked up the D line all off season. Chase Young will not see the field. Like this team is just it's a dumpster fire. Kellen Moore might legitimately get fired after this year. If it keeps going like this, he's gonna get fired after this year. They're gonna bring a whole
Oh,
new.
100%. You cannot have this many penalties and
No,
this quality of football week in and week out. If this continues, Kellen Moore might not make it to the end of this season.
maybe
Because
no,
this was terrible.
no, because the Saints are never gonna fire a coach in the middle of the season. The only reason they did it last year was because the literal team
Yeah,
like played bad
up.
enough to it. The only way this franchise is gonna go anywhere is if Loomis is gone. Gail Benson needs to actually look at this team, look at the outlook of this team, and see that Mickey Loomis is not helping them at all, and he needs to be gone. I don't understand why. Like
I wish I had
that's
the
all.
numbers on this. The amount of draft picks, the amount of first, second, and
I'm
third
looking.
round draft picks we've invested in the lines that is offensive and defensive.
Trevor
For,
Penning, that's another one.
for
Completely
them
forgot about him.
still to be god awful is very telling about what this franchise has been the last 5 years. Their offensive line is okay when you have invested first round pick in Cesar Ruiz, Trevor Penning, Eric McCoy.
He's
Now,
very good.
Eric McCoy is good, but Cesar Ruiz, Trevor Penning, Kelvin Banks. I know it's the jury's still out on him. It's too early, but not good so far from number 71. Uh, and then who is Simpkins was the other one. I mean, he's an undrafted free agent. But then on the D line, you have Brian Brzee, who hasn't done anything. Peyton Turner's not even on the team anymore. Marcus Davenport. The only reason Marcus Davenport stayed around for so long is because of the draft capital we invested in him. And Saints fans, if you remember this, we traded C.J. Gardner Johnson just so we could pay Marcus Davenport.
Yeah.
And look how that has gone for us.
Mhm.
I mean, C.J. Gardner Johnson was a fan favorite when literally the entire whodat Nation could not stand Marcus Davenport because he just didn't do it.
Yeah.
He was always hurt.
Last, yeah.
No, I'm done.
Last thing we'll talk about, and then we'll get out of here because this is I'm done talking about this team. But I'm gonna go through the draft picks since 2020, and you tell me why this team's not good. So 2020, your first round pick was Cesar Ruiz. Your third round picks were Zach Bond, who was awful, and then went to the Eagles and is an All Pro. Your other third round pick was Adam Troutman. He was the worst tight end in Saints history. 2021, Peyton Turner was your first round pick. We know how that goes. Pete Werner, you hit on that one. He was your second round pick. Paulson Adebo, who was a walking PI, not on the team anymore. Ian Book was a fourth. We spent a fourth round pick on
We
Ian
spent
Book.
a fourth round pick on Ian Book.
Fourth round pick Ian Book in 2021. Moving on, 2022, Chris Olave. He's good. He's not a number one. Trevor Penning, a complete bust. No, there's no way. There's no other way to say it.
Terrible.
Alontae Taylor, he's solid. He's not elite. Everybody hyped him up last year because he did the cool celebration. DeMarco Jackson, you don't even know who that is probably. Jordan Jackson, I've never heard of him. 2023, Brian Brzee hadn't done anything. Isaiah Foskey not on the team. Kendra Miller, a non-contributor. Nick Saldiveri always hurt when he does play. He's terrible. Jake Hayner was a fourth round pick. He's awful. Jordan Howden hasn't done anything at safety. A.T. Perry not on the team. You see what I'm talking about? Last 2
It's a
years.
common thing.
Well, I'm not going to do 2025, but 2024, Fuaga. He's been solid. I'll give him that. They hit on that one. Kool-Aid McKinstry spent a second round pick. He's not a number one corner. Spencer Rattler, that's looking really good right now. Bub Means, dude can't stay healthy. Jalen Ford, I don't even think he's on the team anymore. Christian Boyd can't stay healthy, and I don't even know who that guy is. When you have 5 straight years of not hitting on draft picks, you're not going to be a good team. That's all. We can get it.
It's gotta turn around at some point, right? We gotta hit on somebody at
You
some
would think
point.
not if Loomis is still here.
Yeah. I don't know. The Saints need a regime change. I've been saying that for the past 2 years. There's no direction with this franchise right now. I mean, they're rebuilding. I guess you could say that as a direction, but I don't know. It just looks very grim right now as a Saints fan because quietly, the Saints have one of the longest playoff droughts already. And it's going to be at least 2 or 3 more years. At least. It could be a lot longer than that. So Saints fans, buckle in. I know my dumbass is going to be there every Sunday in front of the TV watching the Saints. Uh, but yeah, I don't blame you if you don't watch the Saints, honestly, because they're giving you every reason not to. Um, but yeah, tell a friend, tell a friend. Like, follow, subscribe. All socials: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, at Biggie's Blitz, and we will see y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.